Hello friends, this is the third video of my PC Sound Legacy PC build series. And today I'll show you the case, the installation of the mainboard, and then I'll show you a selection of mostly period correct graphics cards that I could choose out of my collection. If you like to jump directly to the chapter of interest, please find the playlist in the video description. Now let's take a short look on the case, which is this classic grey ATX mini tower. I choose this one because it is in great condition and it will fit very well on my desktop. The next part of this video are recorded with the integrated microphone of my camera, which is my smartphone, so please apologize for the audio quality. Before we start, let's check the jumper settings for the Cyrix M2 I choose. And of course install the CPU. We need 66 MHz, so it is JP7, JP8, JP9 at the second position and JP10 at the first position. Second, first. So it's already set correctly. The CPU has a voltage of 2.9 volts. So the multiplier is 3.5 times. It's off, on 1, 2, 3. Off, and off, and the voltage 2.9 volts is on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. So now it should be configured correctly. For the RAM I choose this Samsung RAM because I think Samsung chips are quite good. And yeah, this was originally built in a Siemens Nixdorf PC. And it's a period correct RAM stick from June of '98. Double-sided. I don't know if it's 64 or maybe 128 megabyte, but we will see. So now let's build everything in, and yeah, I show you the build process. Yeah. So as a optical drive, I choose this very clean and fine looking NEC CD-ROM reader, model CDR/1801A. So in the lower 5¼ inch slot, I will install this adapter, and for convenient exchange of discs, I printed this cabinet for this CF2 IDE adapter. It's in a floppy optic, and okay, it's red, but yeah, this maybe gives a nice a nice color to it. So here we can use 2 screws. So this is how it looks. Here will come in something special. I'll show you in another video. This is a 40 GB Seagate U Series 5. It's date coded 0131, so maybe 2001. And yeah, I don't know if this works because here's no jumper, so maybe I have deselect the jumper because the drive is broken, but yeah, we will see if it's work. If so, it would be a nice fit for this build. So now let's take a look on my graphics card. And I looked through my collection and select the cards that are relatively period correct and would make a good fit in the system. I have sorted them to manufacturer, so let's start with the most boring ones. And these are the ATI cards. And I think that I don't want to use one of these, but I want to show them to you anyway. So here we have a basic Radeon card, RV100. I think this is the Radeon 7000. And I think it has 32 megabytes of RAM. This is a version of the first Radeon card in a smaller manufacturing process, as far as I remember. And so this card comes with a small heatsink only. Here I have another card from the same type, but this one seems to have this cap don't look so good, but yeah, maybe it will work anyway. This is the Rage 128 Pro. I think this card is more period correct to the system. And yeah, maybe it's just 16 megabyte. I don't know exactly. I have to check that. But yeah, this could be a card for the system, but yeah, it's too boring for me. Here we have an ATI 3D Rage 2C AGP with most likely 4 megabytes of RAM. This is more like a 2D card. It has 3D features, but performance-wise, these are not as fast as the Voodoo one, but maybe in the same range. Maybe a little bit slower. Here's another Rage 128 with 32 megabytes of SD RAM. And last but not least, this first AMD Radeon card. So yeah, it's this card is from 2000, so a little bit newer, but quite powerful. I think this is the first AMD card with Transform and Lightning. Yeah, these are my ATI cards, and as you can see, they are quite boring. I don't want to take one of these in my system. So now let's go with the S3 cards I have. And yeah, let's start with this one. Here we have a S3 Trio 3D 2X with 8 megabytes of RAM. So the interface is AGP-2X. And Trio 3D. So it has some kinds of 3D capabilities. Maybe it's the successor of the Verge chipset. But yeah, you can't really run 3D on this card. Maybe you have heard already from people talking about the 3D decelerators, and these are these S3 cards. They are very slow in 3D, and you won't have much fun with it playing games, but they are great 2D cards and very fast 2D cards. This card comes with SG RAM, and this is a good fit if you additionally put in a Voodoo accelerator, Voodoo 1 or Voodoo 2 card. Also nice is that this card has drivers for Windows 3.1. That is a rarity on most of the newer cards. This number 9 AGP card is equipped with the S3 Savage 4 Extreme chipset. So it's a higher clocked version of the Savage 4 chip. And these cards are very rare. There are some cards out there with the S3 Verge Extreme chip, but some of them are fakes, and especially the no-name China brands, and they are just clocked at the normal speed. So this is a real Savage 4 Extreme, but yeah, don't expect too much of it. It's performance-wise, it is maybe competitive with a Voodoo Banshee, I guess. Now let's continue with the Matrox cards I have. This is a Matrox G100. This card is yeah, this is a HP card. It's maybe it's an OEM card for an HP computer. The card has poor 3D capabilities, so I think it's better to use it only as a 2D card. And here we have another one. This is with SG RAM, and this is with SD RAM. This is a yeah, Matrox branded card, also with the Matrox G100 chip. This is the Matrox G400 with 16 megabytes of SG RAM. And this card has dual monitor output. This was special, and yeah, in 1999 when this card came out, most other cards, as you maybe have seen, have just one VGA output. And Matrox was, I guess, it was one of the first companies that, yeah, that brought dual monitor support. This is also quite nice
for my recording setup, because yeah, I can capture one monitor and I can have a live preview of the picture on the other monitor. And the card also is quite powerful. Maybe it is competitive with the Nvidia TNT or TNT2 card. And also this card has one unique feature at that time, and that was a 3D feature called environmental bump mapping. But there were only very few games that supported, so it wasn't really a game changer. But this is a very nice card, great 2D capabilities, great 3D capabilities for this time, and I guess this might be the card of choice for my system, but let's see the other cards as well. So now let's take a look on my Nvidia cards. Let's go from old to new. This is the Riva 128 from Nvidia, and this comes with 4 MB of SG RAM. It's one of the first AGP cards, I guess. It's from 1997. This card was competitive with the Voodoo 1 in performance, but it does not support the Glide API, and it was very powerful with the Direct 3D API. And also, yeah, it's one card in one, so 2D capability and 3D capabilities on one card. Here we have the successor of the Riva 128. This is a Maxi Gamer Centaur card, and it is equipped with a Riva TNT chip. This is a very powerful 3D card. Performance-wise, I guess it is on par with the Voodoo 2, and TNT means twin texel. And this was the first card from Nvidia that supports single pass multi-texturing. This feature is common on the Voodoo 2 cards because it has two of these cores that can render it, and Nvidia put this in one chip, in one card, in one chip with also 2D capabilities, so we don't need an additional card here. Yeah, I really like this card, and this might be a good fit for my system as well. Here we have two of the same cards. These are the MSI MS8806. I guess these are TNT2 cards, Riva TNT2, but I'm not completely sure. I have to look. They have active cooling, and if these are TNT2 cards, of course they are more powerful than the TNT1 card. Here we have the TNT2 M64. So M64 means that the memory bandwidth is cut to half, and instead of 128-bit, it is just 64-bit. But for a system like this with 233 MHz, I think this is more than enough, and we can't get much higher than 640 by 480 or maybe 800 by 600, and yeah, this card would be very capable of this resolutions with this memory interface. This card is also not that the TNT1 card, for example, gets quite hot. These two TNT2 M64 cards are not so power hungry and not so, they don't dissipate that much of heat. Here we have the Asus AGP V6600 with 32 megabytes of, I guess it's SG-RAM. Yeah, I think it's SG-RAM. Performance-wise, maybe it's DDR-RAM, I'm not sure, I have to see. This is a rare card today because it's the first GeForce GPU. And yeah, it has a transform and lightning unit in the core. And so people say that this is the first real 3D accelerator card. And this was a huge improvement to the TNT2 cards. But when this card came on the market, the software and the games does not support the feature of the card, and some of the buyers were disappointed because without these features the card was not that much faster than the TNT2 Ultra. But in later games that support the features, this card could shine. I really like this card because of the fact that it's the first GeForce card, but I don't think I will build this in my system because to unleash the power of this card, I guess you need a more powerful CPU, Pentium 3 or maybe the K6 3 CPU, but for my build I guess this is a little bit too fast. So last but not least, I will show you this more modern card. It's the GeForce 4 MX 4000 with 64 megabytes. Interesting fact of this card, and that is why I bought this card, is that it is a cut down version with just 32-bit memory interface. And I plan to do some benchmarks with it. Now I have two unique or rare cards that most people don't know they exist. This is the Elsa Gloria Synergy. No, it's the Elsa Winner 2000. It comes with, I assume, 8 megabytes of SG-RAM, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4. And I guess this is the PowerVR 2 chipset. I don't know much about this. I don't know if it's powerful. I guess it is competitive with the Voodoo 1, maybe, but I assume that it does not support all the 3D features. If I remember correctly, I've seen a video on YouTube and there were some issues with, I guess, table fog of alpha blending or something like that. So yeah, it isn't really a good gamer's card anyway, but it is interesting, it is unique, and yeah, these are reasons for me to use it. Maybe. Here we have another rare card. It is the 3D Prophet 4000 XT. The Cairo one it has a unique rendering technology. It uses tile-based rendering. If you want to know more about that, it's very interesting. You could search for it on YouTube, or maybe I will give you a link in the description. And this tile-based rendering is a nice idea to save memory bandwidth, because this card only renders scenes that are visible for the gamer, and everything that is hidden will go out of the rendering process, and that's why this card is quite powerful, even if it has just SD-RAM. And I've heard that it's performance-wise it's competitive with the GeForce 2 MX or the GeForce 256 maybe, but I'm not completely sure. Yeah, and because of this unique technology, the card also does not draw much of power and does not dissipate a lot of heat. And these are interesting features for retro PC build as well. So last but not least, let's take a look on my 3DFX cards. Here we have the Diamond Voodoo 1 in the revision B and revision E. This is a Voodoo 1 card. Everything starts with these cards in case of 3D gaming. And so, yeah, this was also my first 3D accelerator back then. And it was really awesome. It was very great performance. It was the first time that you can play 30 FPS in 640 by 480 resolutions, like in Tomb Raider or GL Quake or something like that. And yeah, it has this unique look and feel back then because the textures were smoothed and filtered, and yeah, everything looks very, very nice back then. In today's standards, yeah, I guess you would say that the visuals are blurred out or yeah, not crisp and not sharp. But yeah, back then this was very, very great. This is a addition. This is a 3D accelerator card only, so this card does not have any 2D capabilities, and so you have to add this card to an existing graphics card and route the VGA signal through it. Unfortunately, both of these cards are broken. As you can see, here's a missing capacitor. Maybe here, no, just here. And on this card, we have several missing caps here and here. So this card needs a little bit of love, and yeah, I have to replace, or I have to add these missing caps, and maybe these cards will work then. I'm not sure. They're laying around for a long time. So next card is the Voodoo Banshee. The Banshee was the second card of 3DFX that has built-in 2D capabilities. So the first card was the Voodoo Rush. That was basically a Voodoo 1 combined with a traditional 2D card on one board. So it has these chips on it, and in addition another one for the 2D capabilities from another manufacturer like Alliance Semiconductor. And the Banshee is the first card from 3DFX that comes with integrated 3D and integrated 2D in one chip. It does not support single pass multitexturing like the Voodoo 2, so performance wise it is, it's between the Voodoo 1 and the Voodoo 2. This card comes with 16 megabytes of SG RAM. This is the 3D Blaster Banshee from Creative Labs. And this is the same card from Diamond Multimedia. It's from 1998. And yeah, the Voodoo Banshee card would be a perfect fit in my build performance-wise. So you can very good pair it with a CPU with 233, 266, 300, 350 megahertz in this range. Yeah, and of course, because it's a 3DFX card, it supports the Glide API. And yeah, many games back then use this API because 3DFX was the first company that makes 3D acceleration for the masses back then. Yeah, last but not least, here are 3 Voodoo 3 cards. This is the Voodoo 3 2000. It's a downclocked version of the Voodoo 3 3000. if I remember correctly, it runs at 140 megahertz or 133 maybe, and the Voodoo 3 3000 runs at 166 megahertz, I guess. Yeah, these Voodoo 3 cards are quite powerful. Performance-wise, they are on par with a Voodoo 2 SLI, so it's 2 times the performance of a Voodoo 2 card. Supports glide, but it was also a good card for Microsoft Direct 3D games. And as you can see here, this is the more modern logo of 3DFX. Yeah, these cards get quite hot, and it's very recommended to put an active cooling on it. These Voodoo 2 cards, of course, because they are not that high clocked, they don't get that hot. But yeah, this small heatsink looks very suspicious to me. I don't know if it's an aftermarket thing or if it really comes this way. But yeah, on a Voodoo 3 card, I would put an active cooler on it anyway. So here are the legendary Voodoo 2 cards. This is the Diamond Voodoo 2, Diamond Monster 2, and it comes with 8 megabytes of RAM. And this is the Voodoo 2 card from Creative Labs. This one is with 12 megabytes of RAM. And yeah, the model number is CT6670. This would be great for this system if I add another 2D card on it, so I have power for games that use the Glide API, as well as rendering power for games that use the Direct 3D API. So from all of these cards, I selected the cards that I maybe will build in my system. And yeah, these are these cards. The Nvidia Riva 128 in combination with the 3DFX Voodoo 2 card with 12 megabytes of RAM. I think this would be a great pair of cards for the build. But another option would be the combination of the Voodoo 2 card with the TNT, the Nvidia Riva TNT card. So I have glide support as well as great Direct 3D support. Another option would be the Voodoo Banshee. But yeah, my favorite card for this build is the Matrox G400 because of the 3D performance, as well as the option to use dual monitor for my capturing device and for the live view at the same time. This is a very great feature for me, and this card can be paired with the Voodoo 2 card very good. Another option would be the combination of this S3 card with the Voodoo 2. The reason is that because this card has great drivers for older systems like Windows 3.1 and also has great DOS support for older DOS games. But another interesting option also would be this number 9 card, because the S3 Savage 4 chip also features the S3 Metal API, and this would be an interesting thing for me to check out. Some games supported S3 Metal like Unreal Tournament, I guess. But yeah, this also might be a card for a more powerful system, as well as the Matrox G400. I'm not sure. So yeah, I guess I haven't decided myself at this point. But I guess it would be some combination with the Voodoo 2 maybe the Voodoo Banshee, or yeah, I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments which card you would choose, and yeah, stay tuned. In my next video I will show you which decision I made, and I will build the card in, and yeah, maybe I also will change the cards at some point or do some benchmarks. If you're interested in that, let me know, because yeah, my channel is dedicated to sound at the first line, but I'm also interested in this stuff and graphics card, as you can see, and that's why I have collected these cards. So yeah, this is it for today. In the next video we will build the graphics card in, and then I will show you some choices for the sound card I will build in. But for the sound card I have one card in mind that I will build in because of some of the features, but yeah, I will also maybe show you some other cards that will also fit greatly in this build.